Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another live session with the Hype Magazine. I'm your editor-in-chief, Jerry Doby, and today I've got this young lioness by the name of Jordyn Weekly. She has a unique, mission-oriented streetwear line called Don't Eat the Homies. And I'm going to let her explain it to you a little bit. But first, I wanted to say welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
All right, congratulations on all your success. Don't Eat the Homies.
Yeah,
Streetwear,
don't need it.
LA. I'm a hoodie fan. Like major. I'm from, out that way, actually from South Central. So
Oh,
um
that's awesome.
hoodies and Peters jackets were definitely
Yeah, that's pretty much all we do, like hoodies, sweatpants, and oversized tees. So
yeah. Okay. So
we'll
you
have to.
created some comfortable gear. So you got a real interesting story, but first I would like to know from the inside looking out, like my icebreaker question, right? From the inside looking out, talk to me about Jordyn Weekly and what she stands for.
I mean, I am an animal rights advocate. I would say I'm an activist now. And that's kind of what has inspired me to start this. I didn't come from fashion and I wasn't always vegan either. So it's just been kind of an interesting ride. And yeah, so I started Don't Eat the Homies in 2018. I had been vegan for a few years at that point, and it was funny. I watched a vegan documentary um, one night, and it was one of those heavy documentaries that, really upset me. So I was like awake one night at 2 in the morning, and I was like, how can I make a difference? How can I do something more than just be vegan? Because obviously the stuff is still happening, whether I'm vegan or not. So I decided to make a hoodie for myself on one of these random print on demand sites. And I was like, okay, I'm going to print Don't Eat the Homies on the back of this hoodie, and I'm going to wear it all over Los Angeles. And whoever reads it, maybe they'll start thinking about, their decision to eat meat. And I won't even have to talk to people because I'm really not like confrontational. I don't like to get into like arguments with people about veganism and stuff. So yeah, so people started DMing me on Instagram asking me, yo, where did you get that hoodie? I want one. And I was like, I'll make one for you. So I just started making them for people who asked them for me. And I wasn't even charging people. I was just like so stoked at the idea of more people wearing this message. And yeah, so that's really how it started. And then just out of necessity, I had to create a Shopify store and obviously charge people because I couldn't keep covering the cost of these hoodies. And it really wasn't until November of 2020, like deep into the pandemic, when I was like slow at work and my boyfriend was like, you should just try running ads for your brand because I had time. And so I hired this 16-year-old kid who was trying to start his ad agency. And he was like, yeah, let me try. And literally day one, we had done like $600 in sales. I think we
Wow.
spent like $200 in ads. And I was so stoked. I was like, okay, there is definitely a market for this.
Right.
And so many people were reaching out, like excited about what we were doing. And it was like immediately I was full time in it. And 3 weeks later, I had my first employee and a warehouse space. So it's been crazy.
That
Yeah.
is nuts. Like,
Yeah. It was crazy.
this is viral on a different level.
I mean, it definitely
Street
wasn't
viral.
easy. It
Huh?
definitely wasn't easy. That's the long story short. There's been a lot of craziness along the way. And, like I said, I didn't come from fashion or e-commerce or anything really. I dropped out of college, and I think that it was just a lot of luck and passion and persistence and just not giving up. So
And a clever mantra
exactly.
out the gate. Talk to me, like, how did that come about? That's a pretty interesting story.
Um, just the phrase "Don't eat the homies."
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like it's kind of a blur. Like looking back at that night that started this whole company, it just came to me, and I don't know. It's so weird to think that like at 2 in the morning I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go on a print on demand site. I have no experience in graphic design or anything like that. Like I literally was like pulling clip art of animals and like just made something that I wanted to wear. So it's funny. And the funniest thing about it is that hoodie that I made in 2018 is our best-selling hoodie, and it's our current logo today. So kind of
Okay.
comes full circle.
All right. So that first one would have like cows and cats, and not cats, but a
Yeah,
horse and cows and pigs.
exactly.
Okay, like don't eat the homies. And
Don't-
you fit right in with the culture because homies is such a LA term. Like
Yeah,
everybody's homie. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter where you come from. It's just one of
exactly.
those. So the streetwear and the
Sure.
hoodies is a big deal. What's your next bestseller? Do you have like just tees and things like that, or are you sticking with the hoodies?
Yeah, so we have tees now. We really stuck with the OG hoodie for a long time, and slowly we started branching out, but it's been tough because I really struggled with manufacturing and figuring out how to source things and make things. So it's been, a slow process, but in December I think November actually, we released a lot of like sweatpants and better quality tees and really increased the quality. So um, just expanded the line, and it's been good.
What's been the most exciting part of the corporate development process?
Well, we actually just opened our first brick and mortar location yesterday.
Congratulations.
So that has been really exciting. I never really planned on doing that. I thought that we would be online forever, but this space just kind of fell into our lap. So we've got a big space. It's like 4,000 square feet, and we've combined our production and our office space, and then we have a perfect space for a storefront. So yeah, so that's been really exciting, and we're planning our grand opening party end of March, but
Okay.
we're officially open as of yesterday.
So how did so basically your soft launch go yesterday? Were you surprised by
Really
the foot
good.
traffic?
Really good. We actually didn't post our address until like 1 p.m. yesterday.
Ah,
So whoever knew and was like DMing us asking for our address, we would let them know. But we really just didn't want to have like an overflow of traffic that we weren't ready for. So it was good. And I think today will be busier in the rest of the week, slowly, slowly.
okay.
So we don't get overwhelmed.
You're taking your time. I ain't mad at you.
Exactly.
Now, I told Jackie I was gonna have some fun with you, um,
Okay.
because I'm not gonna tell on anybody, but at least I am a meatitarian.
Okay.
So I would like to know what was the defining moment for you that changed your. I mean, I've seen videos, but I'm a combat vet, so
Okay.
that does,
So
yeah.
I love this question, and I have a great story for it.
All right.
So I went vegan like 8 years ago, and I was at lunch with my boss, and we were ordering food for the table, and we were just going to share everything. And I suggested that we get this turkey Gouda situation. I think it was like a wrap or something. And he was like, "Oh, you go ahead, but I'm not going to share it with you." And I was like, "Oh, why not?" And he was like, "I don't eat dead animals." And literally that moment, something just switched in my brain because I had been an animal lover my whole life. Like the first job I ever wanted was to be a veterinarian. And when I thought of it in that way, um, it just changed me. And my boss was this very masculine man that he wasn't like the typical hippie granola vegan person that I had imagined. So I started asking him questions, and he was just like, "I'm so much healthier being vegan. why would you contribute to unnecessary cruelty if you can be healthier, and with all the environmental issues. So it really took me, I mean, after that day I didn't eat meat again, but it took me about a month to go full vegan after I'd been vegetarian, just because I was so interested in learning about everything that he was talking about. So I started watching all the documentaries, and shortly after that, I was just full on vegan and really passionate about it. So that's how we got here.
Okay. So you're feeling better physically and your
Totally.
health wise, less
Totally.
colds and stuff like that.
Yeah, super healthy. I mean, I don't even remember what it was like physically to eat meat. I feel great. I used to have a little bit of acne, and that went away immediately. So overall, yeah, physically I feel great. I have a lot of energy, and I think the biggest thing is also mental clarity. And I'm also pretty spiritual, so I think that spirituality and veganism go hand in hand. So it's been really good for me. I mean, I really feel like I'm at peace with the way that I live my life, and um, it's been a really good decision for me.
I think it's pretty cool. I had a conversation with a young man named Tabe Atkins. He's like one of the most famous vegans I've ever met. He's like 17 years old, a yoga guy, and all this stuff. And
Mhm.
we had a friendly debate about meatitarian versus vegan, and but I'm going to spare you that because you seem really sensitive, and I don't want to upset you. Uh, that's me clowning. That's me clowning. I'm just it's like just I would like to know. You said mentally you feel a little more clear mentally
Mhm.
and able to focus, not as clouded. Do you think, and because you're spiritual as well, do you think that somewhere in there something esoteric was going on by consuming the meat and affecting you personally?
Totally. I mean, I think that there's a lot of energetics around consuming meat because there's so much fear and anxiety in the animal agriculture industry. These animals are seeing the other animals be slaughtered before them. So they know what's going on, and they're afraid, and they have all of these hormones and adrenaline going on. And when we consume that, I think that we take on that energy. So I think that that's a big part of it.
Okay, what if you catch one by surprise?
I mean, obviously that's
He's
different,
going to
but
answer.
at the end of the day, there's so many reasons to not contribute to it in general. So,
Right, right. Okay.
yeah.
Well, so you dealt with a little guilt as you transitioned. So, and you made your reparations by donating part of the proceeds for the sales of Donate the Homies merch. And
Definitely. Yeah.
who you're championing.
Yeah, so we donate 10% of all of our sales to animal sanctuaries and vegan nonprofits. But yeah, I think supporting the people who are actually taking care of the animals who are rescued is a huge part of it. But ultimately, we're here to raise awareness and help people make the switch and make the connection.
But like you said, you're not like a Hare Krishna about it. You're not like in somebody's face. You just
No, and
want
that's
community and let it do it.
totally. I mean, that's why I started this, is because I really am not a debater. I don't like conflict. And I think that if, this message resonates with someone and they feel called to do their own research and start learning about it, then amazing. And also other people who wear Don't Eat the Homies who do feel like having these conversations. I think that it's a super helpful way to start those conversations, and just get people talking about it, because it's so easy to ignore what's going on, because obviously, slaughterhouse footage is not televised. And there's all these beautiful images of happy cows and happy pigs and stuff. And, I think it's just important to start thinking about where our food really does come from. So that's what we're all about.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter. You're going to live anyway. So, but I like the way you put it. I'm not going to stop eating my pork chops. But I
Well,
respect the fact that you're healthier, and I do feel like difference. I have been on one of them Jello diets for weeks at a time, like, and I ate my first pork chop, which is my favorite, by the way, and I felt sluggish and really heart started racing. My whole body
yeah.
changed. So, I mean, there are some changes. I acknowledge that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm vegan for the animals, but I know a lot of people are vegan for health. And I think that, my boss at the time, he was vegan for his health. He told me that he felt terrible when he was eating red meat, and that's why he stopped. And then I think, once he was vegan for his health, he kind of started realizing about all of the other benefits, environmental and animal rights and all of that. But I think health for a lot of people is kind of what gets them started,
Okay.
because you do feel a difference.
Talk to me about seasoning. Uh, First of all, I've tried the Impossible burger at Wahlburgers, big chain. First place
Mhm.
I ever experienced it, right? Then I tried one at Burger King. Wahlburg was much better. Uh,
I've
sorry.
never been there, but I bet it was.
Yeah. Um, you have to be a really great cook and to be almost a chemical genius, in my opinion, in the kitchen in order to flavor some of this stuff so that it's palatable.
It
I-
definitely is a learning experience. Like, I was not a cook before, and I mean, I'll be honest, my favorite food growing up was like steak. So it really did not come natural to me. My dad is a hunter. My mom would cook what my dad brought home, and I really didn't have experience cooking vegan. So it was just like a lot of Pinterest searching vegan recipes and trying them out and then putting my own twist on it. And I think once you kind of find things that you like, you can just kind of make them, and it becomes easier. But I've been vegan for 8 years, so kind of got it down.
I've tried a shiitake mushroom that was supposed to be flavored like steak or whatever.
Did you like it?
Nah, bro, no.
No. Are you a mushroom person?
I can be,
Okay.
you know, in small doses, but a whole, you know,
Yeah.
steak shroom. That
Well,
was
if you're ever in LA, I'll make you a vegan feast and I'll convince you.
okay. All right, heard that before. Anyway, um, Action, Action Bronson actually, South by Southwest had a food truck out some years ago, right? And that was my first vegan meal, was like 2015, and I'm like, where's the meat? Like,
I'm
wasn't there for me. The textures weren't quite there, but then
yeah.
I had some other dishes that were like, wow, this is amazing. So
It's funny though, because that's how I used to feel. Like when I went to lunch with my boss that one day and he was like, "Oh, I don't want your turkey Gouda wrap." I was like, "What are you eating then? Like just some lettuce and whatever?" Like I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that there was not going to be meat in the meal. And I was a little disappointed, honestly, but I think once you know what you like, it becomes easier,
mm,
and your taste buds really change, I think.
okay, okay. What are your favorite flavors to accent the food with?
I love buffalo sauce. I eat everything with buffalo sauce. Cauliflower is my favorite food, so
Okay.
and hot sauce, I love hot sauce. um I like curry too, which is, I mean, its own thing. So I
Mm,
don't I don't put curry on mac and cheese, but I eat a lot of Indian food. So
Okay. How do you deal with that mac and cheese? So what is vegan mac and cheese? So like that's like a non-dairy cheese, something.
yeah, it's actually super easy. So you basically just use vegan cheese, oat milk, vegan butter. I mean, it's pretty much all the same. All these substitutes are available, and it is easy. All you do is just melt some vegan butter, add some vegan oat milk, vegan cheese, and then mix it in with the pasta.
Y'all are getting me more and more curious. I've never had vegan butter, so I gotta check
Really?
that out. No,
Well, you gotta try it. It's very good.
I'm 221 pounds. I haven't had vegan anything for long.
Try it.
What
Miyoko's is my favorite brand. If you
is
ever
it?
Miyoko's.
Miyoko's?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you
So
ever see it in the supermarket,
do you just go like to Whole Foods? Where do you prefer to go? Or
I love Whole Foods. I also go to Sprouts, Trader Joe's.
okay.
Those are kind of my go-tos.
Sprouts makes sense. Sprouts, vegan, Sprouts.
They have a great produce section, honestly.
Okay.
So it is my go-to. And then Trader Joe's has a lot of good, like, I don't know, lunch things like spicy lentil wrap, veggie hummus wraps, and then their frozen section has a lot of good vegan stuff.
Okay. Don't eat the homies. It's a vegan lifestyle, mission-oriented streetwear brand that donates 10% of its proceeds to animal support groups, animal rights groups, things like that. It's an admirable cause. I salute you for, sticking with your guns, so to speak, figuratively about what you believe. And thank you for sharing some recipes. Look, where can they find you and where can they find Don't Eat the Homies? And by the way, if you look at her, when you look at her, you see it's definitely an LA thing with, the old English letters. They're very stylized. It is definitely a West Coast stamp. She's part of the fabric of the West Coast culture now, even though she's a transplant from Oregon, but that's still West Coast. Used to be Pac-10, now it's Pac-12. They ruined the whole league. Oh my God. Anyway, go ahead.
Thank you for having me, Jerry. I really appreciate you talking to me about all this.
I appreciate Jordyn
and
for
you
your
guys can
patience.
find us at don'teatthehomies.com and our storefront in LA, which is at the footer of our website. I won't give the address.
Okay. Give the and the Instagram. Pretty cool designs. Take a look. For real. She's got some good stuff. So
yeah, our Instagram is just at Don't Eat the Homies and then a period in between each word.
Okay. See, Jordyn Weekly, amazing. You're enjoying the entrepreneur experience. You're living that American dream, bootstrapping your own joint, and got surprised that you got something clever and the timing was perfect, and man, paid off, and it's paying off. She's got her first retail location, which just opened, and she's looking to expand the online business. Launched her into the terrestrial world. So congratulations on everything. Wish you much continued success. And hey, as we have developments, like if you get some major product placements in a movie or something like that, come back, holler at your boy. Let's talk about it.
Awesome. Thank you, Jared.
All right, Jordyn. Thanks so much. We're out.
As an artist, we should reflect the time.
Why you so talented?
Cause I'm black.
Why you so amazing?
Cause I'm black.
It's really important that we build characters so that people understand their story matters.
2 Chainz and I both are just really into good food.
And when you know you are royalty, you will only aim in life to be royalty.
We're doing it right now. I don't give a damn what they say about me. Yes, I called your ass out. I know I shouldn't be saying this kind of.
Shout out to Hype Magazine Network.
Shout out to the Hype Magazine Network.